I'm Blaine Wheeler, the senior anchor here at The Standard, and this year I'm taking over a new role to produce podcasts, videos, covering everything you need to know Missouri State sports. Now, I'm a little late getting to these and getting these out this year, but we got a lot in store for the rest of the season from fall and moving on into basketball, baseball season, and all that good stuff. So, back in the swing of things, I want this to be fun. There's going to be sprinkles of my personality, which might be a bad thing, but you're going to have interviews from coaches, players, sounds from students, and whoever is really relevant at the time for this show, and to give you the best content possible. Now, everyone's asking about Missouri State football. How good are they? How good can they be? Well, the Bears showed they can play after an offseason full of players saying this will be the year that wins start coming under Dave Steckel in the Bears program. And they've been right. Just to give you a short recap of what's happened since this is the first video, the Bears went to Oklahoma State, first game of the year, played well in spots, but got beat handily by the Big 12 foe. Then week 2, in a weird scene, the Bears played Lincoln University out of Jefferson City, an NAI school, on a game that should have been a Thursday night, but was instead moved to a Thursday morning. Students were walking to class as the Bears were walking into the stadium. The Bears won no problem, 49-0. 1 week later was the Bears' first real test of the season at home against the 20th ranked team in the nation, Northern Arizona. And the Bears dominated, going to a 40-9, just like I said, dominating win and a statement win for Dave Steckel in his time and tenure here at Missouri State. Hope amongst the fan base was all-time high, really, as Dave Steckel's been here, and it's still rising. As you can look at how the Bears have done here as recently, they had a bye week, and then their game back home for family weekend, beat Illinois State, a conference-ranked opponent, a very, very good program, I think at the time ranked 12th in the nation, and the Bears won on a last-second field goal. Here was the scene. It was electric.
Good for the Redbirds. The Bears led the point.
Then 2 weeks ago, after that win at home, the Bears went to South Dakota to take yet another good program in the Valley on. But the Bears lost 35-28 in a game they felt like they should have won. The Bears turned the ball over 3 times, but despite those turnovers, it stayed close until the end, when the Bears went for it 4 times on the goal line with just seconds to play and were stuffed. 24-hour rule, as Dave Steckel would say. On to the next one for another good Valley team. I mean, throughout the Valley, these teams are pretty stellar. And Indiana State, much like Missouri State, improved from a season ago. Last week, the Sycamores scored 24 points in the fourth quarter against second-ranked South Dakota State before losing in overtime. Now the Bears, ranked 29th in the nation, took the Sycamores down to the final seconds. It's 3 weeks in a row it seemed like the Bears were down to the last few plays, and this time the Bears won on a pass from Peyton Huslick to a leaping Lorenzo Thomas to go up 3 with 16 seconds to play. I wish I could play you the Art Haynes call. It was tremendous, but the Bears won 29-26. This is the 3rd straight week. Again, the Bears have found themselves late in the game with the game on the line, and here's what Huslick has to say about how that has helped their experience and will be going forward. Into the belt.
I mean, in-game experience it's very, very helpful because we practice 2-minute drives almost every day in practice and stuff like that, but nothing really compares to an in-game experience. So that I feel like getting that under our belt, being able to stay calm, stay collective, and finish the drive, it really helps us out in the future.
Especially after that second half. I mean, you guys had 3 possessions and 3 punts. I mean, that was tough, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
This week, the Bears will take on another good program in the Valley in Western Illinois. It's homecoming, a big environment, with a chance for the Bears to truly prove themselves and move to 5-2. Here's what Coach Steck had to say about the Western Illinois Bulldogs.
They're very, very good defensively. I'm very impressed with their defense. I'm very impressed with their front 7. That's not to belittle their secondary. The secondary does a really good job. They're well coached and they're fundamentally sound. I'm very, very impressed with their defense. 99 is a beast. He is, again, I apologize. I don't want to do him any disrespect. We actually looked at him when I was up north, and we had big debates whether we're going to take him as a defensive tackle and stuff. Heck of a football player. 39 is a very, very good football player. And then offensively, I'm very impressed with their quarterback. He's thrown some interceptions. He had a rough day at the office on Saturday, but he's a competitor. I'm sure he'll rebound, but he's very impressive with the way he throws the football. Their tailback, number 5, is very dynamic. He's not like the Illinois State guys, but I think he's quicker and faster than those guys. He's not as powerful. And he's got 2 really good receivers, and number 1's been out. He's their go-to guy, but number 2 is a really good football player. So we're going to have our hands full this week with that team. And, you guys look at more stats than I do, but I just look at the ones that matter. And to me, it's a very deceiving 3-3 football team.
Plaster Stadium should be a hopping place Saturday. Again, homecoming, and the Bears are rising program. A lot of alumni going to come back and see how this program is changing. I hope a lot of students and former students get excited about it, because this team deserves your support, and it's going to be a lot of fun at homecoming. Now to Missouri State Volleyball. What a game they had in the loss just earlier this weekend to first place Northern Iowa. You don't say what a game they had in the loss very often, but the Lady Bears down 19-15 in the 4th set, rallied to win it, and then marched to a 4-1 lead in the 5th set, in which they ended up losing by 2 points again in that deciding 5th set. But the Lady Bears have struggled more than years past to open the 2018 season. Losing a star like Lily Johnson is never easy to adapt to, an All-American, Olympian, but the Bears are still coached by Melissa Stokes, and she had never out of the race as a top team in the MVC. She is 3rd active all-time in wins of coaches right now in the NCAA. But just to give you a short roundup of the season so far, they're 11-10, 4-4 in Valley play, and have lost some close games with some good teams. They lost to Nebraska, 4th-ranked team in the nation, and then skidded, losing 3 straight games to open Valley play. It was near the time when Donald Trump came to JQH. It affected the start time in one of those games. They lost that one. They went on a 2-stretch on the road and lost them both, but they've won 4 of their last 5 and are getting hot, it seems, at the right time. Emily Butters has marked the headlines early for this team. She's piled up 30 digs in one match just a few weeks ago. That's the 8th most in a single match in Bears history. Butters already has 387 digs this season. She is top 40 nationally in digs per set. The Lady Bears have started Valley play again, 0-3, but it's the first time since 2016 in which they surged to win 16 straight conference games and be an elite team in the NCAA tournament. Freshman Chloe Rear and Amelia Flynn have been tremendous, both taking home Valley Freshman of the Week awards twice. Flynn is moving to be this team's offensive centerpiece. She recorded a team-high 25 kills in a loss to Northern Iowa this weekend, and is starting to pile those kills up, and the offense is starting to move towards her and setting her up. And time will tell if the Lady Bears can keep it rolling in Valley play as they go on a short road stint this weekend to play Bradley Friday and then Illinois State Saturday. Now to Missouri State men's soccer. John Leamy's squad and the men's soccer team, they are scorching hot. The Bears climbed into the top 25 nationally last Monday, but then to drop out of it this week as they lost to Loyola 1-0 this weekend. It was the Bears' first loss of the entire season. They started 7-0-4, but now they're 7-1-4. The soccer team traveled to Hurricane Stadium in Tulsa last Tuesday in a game that ended in a draw, but the soccer team was then undefeated coming into the matchup against Loyola, the conference leader, who is now 2-0-2 in conference. It's Loyola, as I said, but lost, as I mentioned earlier. The Bears are still looking good. They're sitting in 2nd place in the Valley at 2-1-1 in conference, but they have some stars on both sides of the ball. You look at a guy that can score the ball and do it all whenever it's in his feet. Josh Dooling has scored 8 of the Bears' 18 goals this season and has arguably been the best athlete at Missouri State this fall. He's won Athlete of the Week more than once from an award from the University Online. But Dooling's hat trick against Santa Clara 1 month ago, in which the Bears won 3-2, was the first hat trick at MSU since 2005. Just for some of you non-soccer fans, a hat trick is when you score 3 goals. But that was 13 years ago. That 2005 time that happened was 13 years since that's happened on a soccer stadium at Missouri State. You go on the other side of the ball, Bears goalie Michael Creek is allowing less than 1 goal per game. And statistically, he's the 14th best goalie in the nation in all of the NCAA right now. The Bears have knocked off UMKC, Cal State Fullerton, Santa Clara, Valpo, Western Illinois, Bradley, and more. But in short, this men's soccer team is going to be a ton of fun to watch for the rest of this season. I just told you why you should go watch them. So get out and support them. Seriously, I'm not even a soccer guy, and I love watching them. I tune them into ESPN Plus or ESPN3. All their games are broadcasted, so I highly encourage you to get out there. They'll play here at home 2 more times. Once this weekend, a 7 o'clock game on Saturday of homecoming weekend, and then November the 3rd will be your last chance to see them live. But thanks for watching. This is first trial run of the year. We're going to have a lot better stuff coming, more videos every week. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to podcast and videos that'll meet all your needs for Missouri State sports. Every information, every score, every injury report, everything. We're going to have it here on the Standard Sports. You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, all platforms to get you up to date on everything Missouri State sports. So thanks for watching. I'm Blaine Wheeler, and we'll see you next time.